I want to share how brands are strategically designed. Here is one project wherein you can practically see how I translated strategic part into a design and which become a brand design. Therefore, we are always emphasized on strategic branding design. Branding has to be kind of coming out or rely on a strategy. Business strategy, market strategy, brand strategy. From there, you move towards brand design. You start with brand strategy, then you gradually move toward manifesting it or visually showing it. That is what we call brand design. Let's look into this brand folk culture. As I said, brand strategy and brand design, these are two aspects. If you see a successful brands do have these three things, they are desirable, so people desire them to buy, henceforth there is a demand for their product and service, and it's feasible. The company or a business owner made it feasible. Whatever they are promising, they are able to deliver those promises in the form of service or a product. Likewise, the business owners made sure that it is viable. Financially, it is viable, financially sustainable. To serve, you have to sustain. Financially, you should have a good amount of ROI margin so that you can run this operation for a longer period of time. A good business has to have well-balanced these three aspects. Viability, which is financially it should be viable. Feasibility, it should be technically feasible. Whatever you are promising, you should have capacity, ability, or kind of mechanism wherein you're able to deliver what you promised. That is a feasibility. And desirability. Your product or service should have something in it which is highly desirable for the end user or your target audience. You know very well, if a product or a brand is not desired, there can't be any business. If there is no demand for your product, there is no business. It's very simple. Let's move on. We begin our project with understanding the user, because you need to understand who is your target audience, what is their demography, psychography, so that you can take all that input to speak to them. In the sense, you know whom you're speaking, so you can customize your brand language. And further, we look at positioning and see your product has got a certain features, certain advantages, certain unique selling aspect in it or proposition we have to create, okay? So we start there are several brand positioning tools. In this case, this particular brand, folk culture, they are into making artifacts based on boho. It's an art style. In boho, there are two extremes. One is boho minimalism, another is boho maximalism. It's very important to understand these two aspects of the same ism. Understand what is that unique selling proposition your artifacts do have. In this case, they were falling more towards minimalism rather than maximalism. So here you can see it is demonstrated how maximalism bohos look, how minimalism looks. But if you see both of them have got something to offer. A maximalism, as the name itself suggests, everything is maximum. In terms of a color, they are loud. In terms of form and shape, there are many, many louder form and shape. Minimalism, it's more pastel colors and subtle patterns. This folk culture brand for whom I am designing strategic branding design, their whole artifacts kind of borrowed from both isms, but they are more towards minimalism in terms of their final manifestation. Once you start understanding all of that, that leads to insight on which you can build your brand. In this case, if you see a premium homeware that adds boho flavor to your surrounding, they have a lot of these home decor artifacts. If you use them at home, your home has that vibe. Interesting insight, we suggested that turning a house into home. The house is just a four-wall ceiling and floor. How do you make it home? You need personality. You need the touch of art, warmth. These artifacts are good at providing those things. Further, in our research and in our understanding And of course, in our strategy, we looked at house. In this case, boho, it is not a maximalism or a minimalism, but it is a newer take on it. So therefore, we were looking at a new boho. We try to look at as a new boho. It is not that traditionally how boho is understood, but it is a new take on your existing boho. That is where the main concept came from. We named it a new boho. That's a driving force. From there, we started visualizing. If you see, these are some of the artifacts, clothes, cutleries, utensils, and some decorative things, from pillows to bedsheet to wall hanging, decorative objects. Variety of these things, they do fell under folk culture. We try to get some inspiration from there for an identity, and we started learning certain features from those artifacts, and that's become a base for creating folklore culture logo. This is a final rendition of that logo and how it appears in variety of displays. This is being artifact brand. You need a lot of these brand assets like textures, colors, color palette, so that you can use these elements to create box or wrapping paper, useful things for. Again, in terms of a color palette, we inspired from boho surrounding itself. In terms of font, we kept it minimum. These are house fonts. So as I was earlier saying, they need a lot of these packaging materials. Here you see that minimalism, yet there is a decorative element. And in terms of the pattern, how it can appear, sometimes they have just pillow covers or napkins or tablewares. How do you create this simple wraparound paper versions we demonstrated? They wanted to sell their products on their own website. It's a website come e-commerce, as well as they're selling it on Amazon as well. This is a website we created, turn a house into a home, folk culture. We used their boho style inspiration to narrate the story. That's it.